The FBI discovered a tunnel this morning that the rapper had made in his home, connected to the basement of a former Michael Jackson home.
There is an underground mansion.
The officers found strange items on the floor, such as children's clothing.
Actually terrifying to know that this exists.
It is uncovered tunnels underneath his house.
Diddy's?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Recently, Diddy's son Christian revealed what really went on in the tunnels beneath Diddy's mansion and how Diddy used to invite him to those secret freak-off parties as well. Now, a video showing Diddy and his son at one of these events has been submitted in court as evidence, making the situation even more intense.
We're seeing a new glimpse into the raids of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles home. The mother of Diddy's son recently released this footage to her Instagram page as she slammed federal agents, accusing them of using militarized force against her son. Misa Hilton, the mother of Diddy's son Justin Combs, posted the sped-up surveillance video of last Monday's raids as agents with Homeland Security descended upon Diddy's reported $40 million LA home. In the first few seconds of the clip, you can see armored tanks arrive outside the home. Then agents with their guns drawn open one of the cars parked in the driveway. The video then highlights one particular agent who notices the home's security camera. He points the camera toward the ground. Once inside the home, federal agents can be seen using a drone. Then the video shows Diddy's son Christian with his hands in the air, pressed against the wall, then handcuffed. Diddy's son Justin then appears with his hands on his head. The agents then appear to take him down a hallway. The release clip ends with what appears to be another man who is dragged out of the home and on the driveway by agents. Photos of the aftermath show Diddy's sons Christian and Justin on the lawn of the LA home while agents seemingly continued their search. Justin Combs' mom released a statement along with the video slamming the federal agents for the way they handled the raid. The statement reads, quote, "The overzealous and overtly militarized force used against my sons Justin and Christian is deplorable. If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would have not been handled with the
about tunnels beneath Diddy's mansion connecting secret underground rooms to the Playboy Mansion have existed for years. But now, the FBI has confirmed that Diddy's son, Christian, was found in one of these tunnels during the 2024 raid. Reports claim the entrance to these tunnels was hidden beneath the carpet in Diddy's master bedroom and led to passages built under the Playboy Mansion back in 1970.
FBI found a tunnel this morning at the mansion of famous rapper Diddy in Los Angeles, Part 2. After receiving an anonymous tip from neighbors, agents rushed to the scene. During their search, they uncovered a tunnel beneath the carpet in Diddy's bedroom. Despite the family's pleas not to enter, the officers hesitated but ultimately decided to go in. The tunnel looked freshly dug, with wet dirt on the walls and trash scattered around. As they ventured deeper, the narrow space suddenly opened up to reveal 6 locked rooms. The agents couldn't access these rooms, and even more bizarrely, they found multiple intersections ahead in the tunnel. For safety, the agents called for backup and split up to investigate further. What they discovered was shocking. A tunnel connecting to the infamous Playboy Mansion, along with others leading to several Hollywood celebrities' homes. As the agents delved deeper, they quickly surrounded these residences.
Guys, they found underground tunnels at Diddy's homes. This was first brought up by Shadow of Ezra, where he talked about the underground tunnels in Diddy's luxurious Los Angeles mansion. It was an underwater swimming tunnel leading to a mysterious grotto reminiscent of an ancient and modern human use of caves. Now, this is all alleged, of course, but they say that this tunnel connects to the Playboy Mansion. You guys remember that? Hugh Hefner, the guy who lived with all those women in his mansion? There's no available evidence right now. However, reports are noting that Combs mansions do have a pool with an underwater swimming tunnel. They say it's not connected to the Playboy Mansion, but there is a reason why the Playboy Mansion keeps coming up. 10 years ago, they were building underground tunnels to the Playboy Mansion for people like Jack Nicholson for his birthday. So this way, they don't have to go through the outside, but go underground in secret to the Playboy Mansion to do God knows what. You can see the sketches here of these underground tunnels being built. They were working on it, and it was supposed to connect celebrities like Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, Michael Jackson, just to name a few. As reported by People magazine, these underground tunnels to the Playboy Mansion were sealed off in the 1980s. The question is, do you believe that? Stay safe.
Diddy's mansions were raided in March 2024, but his arrest didn't happen until nearly 6 months later in September. Leaked reports suggest that investigators believe Diddy escaped through underground tunnels beneath his Miami mansion. TMZ also revealed that his LA mansion featured an underwater tunnel connecting the main buildings.
the media and everyone is trying to say, no, there's no connection. Well, have you guys even figured out if there's a connection yet? I feel like authorities are so stuck in time in the past where like they say, oh, don't look into this, don't investigate this, these claims aren't real. But then we see social media sleuths put together these stories and solve investigations. I'm not saying the authorities aren't smart people, they can figure it out, but sometimes the help from the public can lead to, us actually figuring out the truth. But do the authorities want the truth? It really matters who's at the top and who they're trying to protect. Another conspiracy theory that circulated at the time of the raids was that Diddy escaped through an underground tunnel. I do believe he has an escape route planned when it comes to his Miami property because he can easily access the Bahamas through a boat. When it comes to his LA property, he might have a backup plan, which kind of explains these tunnels.
In case you're wondering where Diddy hosted these parties, specifically the parties that took place underground, I was absolutely shocked to find out that there is an underground mansion with tennis courts, indoor pools, marble everything, a literal ballroom. And this checks out because Ali Carter was talking about this underground ballroom. Like, actually, imagine being 5 floors beneath the surface, willing to bet there's no cell service. What are you going to do? Scream, run? Where are you going to go? Actually terrifying to know that this exists. Like, just want to play tennis in my underground mansion. I have no words. It's crazy.
I can't imagine this being real because it seems so dystopian. Per news reports in March 2024, Diddy's properties in LA and in Miami were raided by Homeland Security. Diddy's LA mansion was located in the upscale neighborhood of Holby Hills, the same neighborhood as the Playboy Mansion. However, there is no known underground tunnel connecting the two. According to this report, people reported that the Playboy Mansion was rumored to have a series of underground tunnels that connected the mansion to other homes in the area. However, one staff member told the site that the tunnels were closed up in sometime in 1989. And I don't know why celebrities are so scared to acknowledge these tunnels. I feel like, oh yeah.
Of Diddy's son, Christian at a freak-off inside one of these tunnels was also included in Lil Rod's lawsuit. Just like his father, Christian is now facing serious allegations as well. He's being sued for sexual assault by 26-year-old flight attendant Grace Omar, who claims that Christian drugged her with laced drinks and then groped and sexually harassed her during one of Diddy's yacht parties.
2. Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Omarki to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. Omarki alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. Omarki reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." Omarki then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time, so this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." Omarki then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." Omarki says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone...
He reportedly groomed his adopted son Quincy, showing that when someone turns into a monster, even family isn't off limits. Industry insiders had long sensed something strange in Diddy and Quincy's relationship, but no one expected it to be this disturbing. Freddie P., an artist who once worked with Diddy, claims he personally witnessed suspicious behavior between the two. Allegedly, Diddy had been grooming Quincy since he was a child.
Like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you kept him that close because he might got your secrets because he's not your child. So if he's not your child and you that type of person with that type of character, you don't mind actually doing it to him when he finally reaches a certain age because he's not yours. And you know in your mind he's not yours. And now you keep him real close to you. You make sure he don't go to his daddy. Why? You make sure he's separated with him and you provide him with everything he wants. Why? Got one of them little Michael Jackson secrets. He got one of them secrets that he can't tell nobody because his legacy, I mean, his manhood gonna be, and not only that, his brother no gonna look at him crazy. Only Puffy know, only God and Puffy.
Quincy, right?
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, I don't know.
I'll be sure, son.
All I'm gonna say is, who's infatuated with another man's son like that? Like you, that seemed like grooming to me. Oh, that's his daughter's brothers. Get the fuck out of here.
Next voice. This isn't the first time Diddy has faced disturbing accusations involving a family member. Reports have surfaced claiming he showed inappropriate sexual interest in his own mother, allegedly calling her sexy around friends and even kissing her on the lips. In a resurfaced 2022 clip, Diddy is seen smoking a joint with his mom while making a shocking comment about a strip club featuring her twerking in the center. He then kisses her on the lips, and the way he looks at her in that moment has raised serious concerns. Next.
Yeah, my mom's good. Hold on, let me introduce you to my mom. Call Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'll be with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. Mom, freshly dipped though.
So you gotta do good like that.
I was trying to show you the shoe. Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's is single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom's. She's single. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. And she's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world.
It will be. Especially with me.
I don't even want to get started if she was doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah, my mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom do know how to have a good time. And she ain't sitting in the house playing. They outside moving and shaking, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
She come with me to strip club. I don't care. For real. It's my dog. You know, I want to live life. We out here moving and grooving. So my mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby.
That's right.
Keep moving.
Don't stop.
She could touch the floor with her palms. You know? Flat. Oh!
Documents reveal that Diddy used his son Justin to help organize the freak-off parties. Photos of Justin attending one of these events, along with allegations that he helped recruit former employees for Diddy, are included in Lil Rod's lawsuit filings. Diddy's sons have reportedly been assisting him in covering up evidence for years. In fact, it was Justin who first warned Diddy that Cassie was about to release the assault video against him.
His involvement in an alleged shooting cover-up. According to court documents, it happened on September 12, 2022, outside Diddy's Chalice Studios. Lil Rod says Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend who went by G were all there when things got heated. Lil Rod says he heard multiple gunshots ring out and later found G on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. Lil Rod says he was bleeding out of his hip and leg area. Lil Rod says he was applying pressure to G's wounds and then asked the crowd to call an ambulance. At that point, both Diddy and Justin Combs disappeared to another part of the studio. Diddy then gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So that specific allegation involves Diddy's son Justin, but another allegation and entirely separate civil lawsuit involves his other son Christian, or King Combs. Grace Omar K alleges that Christian Combs sexually assaulted her on a yacht in December 2022, and she says it was facilitated by Diddy.
Here is the other thing with Mr. Burgess. He apparently says he owns the rights to a book that was reportedly based on the alleged memoir of Kim Porter. In fact, according to TMZ, Burgess' phone was seized by the feds, and on it was a copy of a flash drive with material that was used in this book. Here's the problem. Christian and Quincy Combs, these are the sons of Diddy and Kim Porter. Quincy's actually adopted by Diddy, but they are reportedly fighting back, and they have sent Burgess a cease and desist letter to prevent the further sale of this book. They argue this is just an attempt to capitalize on Porter's fame and that they own the rights to her IP, her intellectual property, like her diary entries, her potential manuscript. As her heirs, they own it. And they also want an accounting of current sales of the book. To be clear, though, they aren't acknowledging that there is, in fact, a long-lost memoir from their mother. In fact, they've actually denied that before when there was a similar book, a derivative work, we'll talk about that, published by this guy named Chris Todd on Amazon. They were adamantly fighting against that. They said that their mother wouldn't write this. But what they're basically saying is if something should exist...
MIA, Diddy's former assistant, has also testified against him, shocking the courtroom with her revelations about the horrors hidden behind the mansion's doors. She described a deeply disturbing atmosphere filled with coercion, fear, and psychological manipulation. According to Mia, Diddy exercised strict control over everyone around him, using fear as his primary weapon.
Her was treacherous. She knew everything. She knew all about the drugs, the money, the Cassie, D-Rock involvement, and what he used to do. But the thing that was so crazy about it is that she said that Puff used to rip her repeatedly, damn near anytime he wanted to, all the time. Like several times she was ripped by him. It seemed like she had the jury crying. She was ripped by Puff, bruh. Now, what I know that in some states, they do just like they do murder. In New York City, because in the States, you got to realize the time that you could be charged with rape in most states is from 3 to 30 years. But there are 13 states that do the rape case just like it's murder. That there's no time limit on when you say or you come out and say somebody raped you. You understand what I'm saying? And New York State is one of them. So I was wondering, did she ever get raped in New York? Because if she did by Puff, the state could bring up that charges against.
The trial is intensifying. Just yesterday, the judge threatened to eject Diddy from the courtroom after catching him attempting to communicate with the jury. Meanwhile, reports have surfaced suggesting that one of the jurors may already be compromised.
This is involving the Sean Combs trial. Senior national correspondent Laura Ingle is standing by with legal analyst Misty Maris. And Laura, you are learning Combs could potentially be removed from his trial and not allowed in the courtroom. What can you tell us?
That's right, Nicole. This has just happened in the last few minutes, and this would be a huge development if he is removed for the rest of the trial. And what has happened here, as we are going through the cross-examination of one of Cassie Ventura's friends, who we've been telling you about, Brianna, who has been on the stand, Sean Combs has been, according to the judge, vigorously nodding during some of this cross, engaging with jurors, or at least appearing that he's trying to, looking at jurors. That is not allowed. And as you mentioned, legal analyst Misty Maris is here. I'm just going to scoot her in. This is breaking news, so we're just bringing her right in because we're here at the courthouse together. You just came over to tell me what the judge said. Explain to us what this means.
Yeah, so this was huge because what the judge admonished the defense team, saying that Combs had been engaging with the jury, meaning that he's making direct eye contact with the jury and having a reaction, nodding his head. The judge said this is jury interference. It's to influence the jury, and actually referenced that the defense was warned not only today during Bongolin's testimony, but also had been warned previously during the testimony of George Kaplan. So this feeds into a federal rule which relates to disruptive conduct by the defendant in the courtroom. And the rule says that if somebody is warned by the judge, if the defendant is warned, but the conduct continues, one of the consequences could be removal from the courtroom for the remainder of the trial. And Laura, that is of huge consequence to the defense.
Yeah, and all along we've been seeing Sean Combs, passing notes, and that's allowed with his defense. He's been very active. He's been paying attention, and we have heard of him nodding along during some of the testimony, but this is something different.
Correct. So engagement with your attorneys, passing notes during testimony, even being a bit reactive to witness testimony, looking at the witness and perhaps having a reaction and looking engaged, all fine. It's when it comes down to engagement with jurors and something that could tend to influence them in some way. And what the court looks at is their influence or intimidation. Is that what the defendant is doing, and could it have that impact? So here the judge was taking a very strong stance. And keep in mind, from the defense perspective, that would be the most severe consequence, removal from the courtroom, because every defendant has the right to...
Juror number 6 has been exposed for lying about his true identity and background. This was somewhat expected. While Diddy can't control the evidence against him, if he spends enough money, the jury might just help him avoid prison.